Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Obiana Chidoze, and today we are going to be talking about theories of crime behavior, and we are going to be looking at them. And please remember to subscribe, like and share, please, so to encourage us. And you can reach us at 0703226171 for more on any explanation. Please also use the comment box. We'll be glad to hear from you, to encourage us to. So the theories, when we hear the word theory, we understand that theory want to explain something, the causes of a behavior. Like science always assumes that nothing just happens, right? There is always this principle of causality that science is predicated upon, right? Now, crime behavior, criminal behavior, deviant behavior. What is the reason? What caused it? We are starting immediately, and I will not want to bog you with too much story, and I'll be very simple with that. So, picking what you need to know. Demonological theory is the first theory. Demonological theory states that crime behavior occur as a reason of possession of demons. The reason why people commit crime because evil spirit has taken charge of them and then perpetrating their criminal behavior. That is demonological theory, and it's very simple as that. No need going to their punishment and everything. This is OBJ exam, right? The second theory is a classical theory of crime or criminal behavior. Yes, the classical theory, a name there you always see, Cecil Becerra. Cecil Becerra, these are persons that talked about this classical theory, one of the first theories of crime apart from the demonological. And you see that here they are saying that crime, there are two principles they talked about here: principle of hedonism and principle of free will. So they said that individuals are created with free will for to do this or to refrain. That is free will. And hedonism is the word talking about pleasure or enjoyment, right? That crime behavior is predicated on these two principles: free will and hedonism, H-E-D-O. That reasons why people commit crime or why crime behavior is expressed or is engaged upon is because of the free will the person have and the enjoyment the person will get from it. So the person that goes out to rob a bank and everything is because of the money and every enjoyment they will get from that life and everything. Now the person that want to rape a girl is having the free will to say, no, I can't do this, a crime, or I would. And they release an enjoyment from it. They have an enjoyment they get from it. This is what this classical theory is saying. And they also pointed out that people who commit this crime, that their punishment should be equal to the enjoyment they got from committing that crime or engaging in that crime behavior. Yes. So since I pointed that out, it will be necessary also to point out that demonological theory, their own punishment will always be to burn the person alive, or to throw the person out of the water, or you engage in sacrifices, or they tie in chains, and other exorcive practices, including trephination, use of bitter herbs. But that's not what we are here for, right? I'm trying to be very focused on what we need, right? So principle of hedonism and free will in classical theory, Cecil Becerra is one of the names there, and their punishment, they said, should equal or be not equivalent, equal to the enjoyment the individual received it in that crime, committing that crime. The third is neoclassical. The neoclassical theory of crime came as an offshoot, or trying to argue one of the positions of the classical theory, the traditional classical theory, right? So they said actually that the crime perpetrators, oftentimes these criminals should not have equal punishment. Yes, so that because they believe that some people do not commit crime as a reason of free will. Some people do not commit, yes, they do not commit that crime because they do not have equal free will. Yes, that is what we talk about instigating factors. Instigating factors. Oh, come on, you forced my hand. You know that moment, right? So it's not that you really wanted to, but you don't have choice at some point. When I say you don't have choice, I mean equal choice. You would see, when we talk about victimology, you see people like what we call provocative victims, right? Provocative victims, at a point, a very old man sees a boy of 25 years and slaps the person and holds the person by the collar and everything. I'm sure you know what will happen. Ordinarily, the person trying to shake him or herself out from that situation, the old man may fall and die. Anything can happen from that moment, right? You see that at this point, you don't have so much a free will in that situation. Some persons are forced into prostitution, if we are to look at it as a crime behavior, right? Some persons, like, there are conditions that have resulted to that behavior and that gave you no choice of having your free will or expressing your free will. And so, as the neoclassical opined or submitted or suggested that we shouldn't give them equal punishment to their crime behavior. The next theory we're talking about now is the biological theory. What is the major tenet or the assumption of biological theory? Biological theory is saying that the criminal behavior is inherent. The criminal behavior is in you. The reason why crime occur is because of criminal behaviors. Biological characteristics that the individual has, right? That is what they are saying. So they said it's inborn. That is why they believe that some people that are with all the muscle, with all the jaw, protruded jaw and everything, and they feel the other ones are biologically weak, they can do anything, and somehow even biologically, genetically inherent. Biologically or genetically inherent, that is that criminal behavior. We call them, please pick this word, they are called genetic archivists, or you call them genetic throwbacks. You see it in your exam. The genetic throwbacks or genetic archivists, these are ones born criminal, like they cannot but engage in it. So in this light, this biological theory gave us three types of criminals. We have talked about the born criminals, that is the genetic archivists or genetic throwbacks. Then we have the insane criminals. The insane criminals are the ones with mental problem, the ones with anxiety situations, personality situations. But you know that some people will go to the court and argue that they have a mental problem. That's why they committed a crime unknowingly. Biologically, they are mentally retarded persons, right, that could commit that. Those are the ones we call insane criminal unknowingly. And then, but you know, there are laws under that some of their barristers often use to help them out, like this Blade Runner from South Africa, Oscar Pistorius, right, that shot through the toilet door to the wife, the girlfriend. Then perhaps the girl wanted to leave. I don't know the whole story, right? Please, I'm putting a disclaimer, right? But he shot through the door of the toilet and killed, knowing that the girl was there though. But he and his barrister confessed of perpetrating the crime, but as a reason of initially being under being diagnosed of anxiety disorder. He was thinking is something else going on, maybe a criminal or somebody trying to harm anything, right? So that is insane criminal. In law, we talk about two types there. We talk about the one we call GBMI or NGRI. NGRI means not guilty for reason of insanity. So in the court, your barrister may want to argue you're not guilty because it was an insane situation, you don't know when you did it. Yeah, they will want to provide a psychologist. You know, that's why we are doing this course. The psychologists are also interested in this course because we also engage in forensic activities, right? So to know whether you are mentally stable indeed, or even mentally stable to face the court, or whether you faint there, or you are mentally stable to even serve your jail terms if you are found convicted, right? Now, GBMI, your barrister at this situation is pleading guilty, but mentally insane. Yes, guilty but mentally insane. That is the two laws they use there. So we have talked about the born criminals. We have talked about the insane criminals, and we are talking about the ones criminaloids. Yes, or you call them the biologically weak victims. These ones have the elderly, the children, right? They are weak, and that's why this crime occur, and they became victims of crime. Another thing we look at in biological theory is what we call physiognomy and phrenology. Although phrenology is currently regarded as pseudoscience, yes, it's no longer regarded as an adequate science. Pseudo means false, P-S-E-U-D-O. Pseudo means false, yes, false science, because in those days they were able to, phrenology simply means a study of person's personality or behavior through the shape of their skull. Yeah, their skull. It was a theory brought about by a man we call Franz Gall. Yes, F-R-A-N-Z. Gall is G-A-U-L. Yeah, he's a proponent of that theory, phrenology of school of thought. Yeah, so that moment you look at somebody, you just say, okay, this person must be a stubborn person. Or you see two kids fighting, before you ask what is happening, you have already hit the other person on his head. That kind of thing, just a little thing, because of just the look, right? Now we are talking about physiognomy. Physiognomy is trying to look at your mental judgment that is showing on your face. Mental judgment showing on your face. So it's a facial judgment. Yeah, that they used to look at that, and that is another addition we are looking at. So today we have talked about the demonological theory of crime. We have talked about the classical theory, the neoclassical, and then we looked at the biological theory, and we will continue other theories, psychological theories and sociological theories in the next video. Thank you, and see you on the other side.